Imagine waking up one day to a seemingly normal household scenario. Your mom is in the kitchen making breakfast for you and your 7-year-old younger sibling. You drag yourself out of bed and go to wake up the little sleepyhead in the room next door. You walk in the room and automatically notice that something is terribly wrong. When you see that the 7-year-old, who is normally so full of life, is laying on the bed as if they have been drained of all energy. You and your mom rush to the emergency room only to be told hours later that you have to go to an oncologist to determine what's wrong. After what seems like an eternity of waiting, the doctor comes into a private room and diagnoses your sibling with acute lymphoblastic leukemia. Unfortunately for many families, this horrifying scenario is a reality. Mothers have to look into their young children's eyes, knowing that they are going through something that their parents cannot control. Older siblings have to look into their younger siblings' eyes, knowing that they will never get to experience childhood to the fullest extent because they are limited by the confines of cancer. According to the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital website, on an article titled Childhood Cancer Facts, last accessed on July 5, 2018, I discovered that cancer is diagnosed each year in about 175,000 children ages 14 and under worldwide, and that about 420,000 childhood cancer survivors live in the U.S., with many more around the world. According to a survey, 13 out of 17 people know of a loved one or relative who has been diagnosed with cancer. 11 out of 17 people have one or more younger siblings, and 16 out of 17 believe that research is essential to the development of potentially life-saving medicine. So what exactly is childhood cancer, and how does it affect millions of people worldwide? Childhood cancer, also called pediatric cancer, typically means a cancer that is found in children and teens, and sometimes young adults. It is not just one disease. There are many types, which can be found in different places throughout the body. The causes of childhood cancer are not completely understood. While adult cancers are often linked to lifestyle or environmental factors, cancer in children is different in several ways. In a young person, cancer is less likely to be caused by the patient's environment or lifestyle. Instead, cancer-causing genetic changes, called mutations, are most commonly thought to occur by chance. However, in a few cases, children are born with genetic changes that increase their risk of getting cancer. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital addresses the numerous needs of children and families in need of financial or emotional support. Today, I will convince you of the extensive problems associated with childhood cancer in our community, address some of the ways that St. Jude Children's Research Hospital is satisfying this need, how our community will change if their mission continues to be supported, and what you need to do in order to help them achieve their goal. Our community is faced with extensive problems associated with children who suffer from life-threatening diseases. How often are children diagnosed with life-threatening diseases? Well, according to the Michigan Medicine website I last accessed on July 3, 2018, 15 to 18% of children in the U.S. have a life-threatening disease. Some of these illnesses may be diabetes, AIDS, sickle cell anemia, but most importantly, cancer. How does this life-threatening disease affect children? The child will experience many hospital visits and scary treatments that may be painful at times. The illness will isolate them from their friends and peers and make them feel different. They may even be limited from certain activities that can lead to a sense of a hole in the childhood. How is a child's family affected? It can be hard for an older and younger siblings to see their brother or sister deal with the hardship of a life-threatening disease. It can be difficult for the parents to see their children going through daily pain, and it can also become a financial hardship for parents who don't know where they will get the money from to pay for the child's medical treatments. Dealing with the death of a child puts a strain on the entire family. Now that you know how extensive the problem is, I will now move on to see how St. Jude Children's Research Hospital is addressing the need in this community. There is a huge problem of childhood cancer that is being addressed by St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Danny Thomas had to face many obstacles in order to make something great happen. There is a policy in place that St. Jude Children's Research Hospital offers to families in need. The treatment resources offered to patients at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital has tremendously increased the survival rate among young childhood cancer patients. According to the website Lone Star 99.5 that I accessed on July 29, 2018, I found that St. Jude Children's Research Hospital is where a majority of doctors send their patients. In case of an emergency, St. Jude does not have an emergency department unless one of their patients needs immediate assistance. What is researched at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital? The main treatment programs researched at St. Jude in order to help patients dealing with an intense sickness. There are many donations that contribute to research and overall patient care at this facility. Public donations have had a significant contribution to the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Picture our world if St. Jude Children's Research Hospital continues to receive the necessary support, and what it will be like if it fails to receive the monetary help it needs. Think about the countless nations that have sent children to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital if it continues to receive the necessary support. Hope would replace despair as the hospital continues to serve as a beacon to all who need assistance in treating conditions and diseases that they, as innocent children, never deserve to experience or contract. Children would be sent to a place dedicated to helping them free of any cost, including that involved in travel. According to the webpage titled Saving Lives of Children Around the World, retrieved from stjude.org on July 24, 2018, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital works with 24 institutions in 17 different countries to provide outreach and support to children with cancer and other life-threatening diseases. Furthermore, the hospital freely shares any discoveries they make regarding these conditions and diseases with researchers and healthcare providers all around the world so that they can help save thousands of lives. Now picture the world if St. Jude Children's Research Hospital failed to receive the monetary help it needs. A child's immediate problems and issues regarding their disease would stay with them for the rest of their life. Children could not be helped by the institution unless their families had the ability to pay for the cost of treatment up front, just like in a conventional hospital. They would be left to deal with the problems and diseases they never deserve to have, and ultimately face the possibility of permanent mental and bodily damage or even death. Think about the unforeseen consequences of untreated cancer and life-threatening diseases. Survivors who haven't been given the help they really needed will live limited lives and suffer psychological trauma. Suicide or death will lead to unfulfilled potential. What if a child that died from untreated cancer or another life-threatening disease like malaria was the next Einstein or Bill Gates? According to an article published as recent as July 27, 2017, titled The Risk of Suicide in Cancer Patients by Dr. Lynn Eldridge of Very Well, those diagnosed with cancer in the United States are twice as likely to commit suicide as the general population. According to an article published on February 20th, 2013, titled Almost 100,000 Children Die of Cancer Each Year, New Drugs Urged, written by Roberta Nichols of City of Hope, an astonishing 250 children die each day from cancer alone. This number is outrageous considering that 80% of childhood cancers can be cured with existing treatments. This means that 80% of the children that die every day could have been helped if they had the access to it. Imagine if the other 20% didn't have access to the help they needed either. 1 in every 7,200 children in the U.S. alone die from cancer every year. Imagine hearing about 4 children from Kingsville alone dying every year because no one could help them. That could very well be your child if St. Jude Children's Research Hospital doesn't receive the monetary support it needs to render free aid to children all around the world. In conclusion, I have elaborated for you the multiple problems faced by children and families who are faced with life-threatening diseases early on. You are now well aware of the extensive problems associated with dying children in our community, some of the ways that St. Jude Children's Research Hospital is satisfying this need, and how not only our community but our world would be changed if their mission continues to be supported. You have the power to save a child's life by contributing your money to this wonderful cause. You hold the fate of a child's future in your hands. Children who may never have a normal childhood ever again because of a situation that is out of their control. Families who may want the best for their child but have no monetary means of providing it. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital may be the last thread of hope that a child clings to in a time of great need. Without your help, just know that it is not the children who suffer, it is everyone who loves them. Please find it in your heart to give to such a worthy cause. It is up to you to make the decision to let a child live.